Alright, a few weeks ago I asked some of you what kind of video you wanted me to make. Some of you said,
teach me to go from 10 feet to 15 feet.
Other people said,
teach me to go 13 feet to 17 feet. Please, teach me.
One guy goes,
need to make a video on about elite pole vaulters and ask them questions about things everybody wants to know.
Being an elite pole vaulter is easy and fun.
I've already made one of those. Another guy asked for coaching tips, and a bunch of you guys just wanted me to make a pole vault video because I haven't been making a ton of those.
So, by popular request, I will answer every single one of those questions.
Minus the elite pole vault questions and answers, because I've already made like 6 of those, so if you're the guy who asks, I'll make more of those when I run into some more elite athletes. Deal! Alright, the single greatest speech that I give that improves athletes' performance and the ways coaches seem to coach is this speech I call the pole vault order of operations.
I'll explain to you what that is right about now.
This is pretty similar to the continuous chain method, but if you tell a kid that you're going to tell them about the continuous chain method, they look at you like this. Or coaches look at you like this. So instead of doing that, I usually do, let me take a step back. Let me add this in there before I continue on this. Coaching is relatively easy if you remember a few things. Number 1, always ask yourself, what do you want the athletes to know and be able to do? Very important.
What do you want the athletes to know and be able to do?
Number 2, how does this kid learn and can you speak their language? If you can't speak their language, you need to figure out how to speak their language. Very, very important. I'll elaborate more on these in a future video. Number 3, it's easier to coach something that the kids already know. That's where I'm going to talk about the pole vault order of operations. This is number 3. And number 4, you have to know what you're coaching.
It's that easy. You have to know what you're coaching, or I can't coach or relay information, right? Duh.
So instead of talking about, hey, we're going to go learn about the continuous chain theory, I always say, have you guys taken math? And the kids usually look at me like,
yeah? Are you dumb? Of course I've taken math. I'm in 7th plus grade.
Then I always ask if they've learned the order of operations.
Yes, I've learned about the order of operations in 5th grade. I know all about the order of operations.
So if you guys don't remember what the order of operations is, it's that math thing. You can use that saying, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, which also means parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add or subtract. You have to go in that order. And then I always ask the kids, what happens if you don't go in that order?
Well, Shawn, you get the wrong answer.
And that's exactly true. And so then I explained that the pole vault has an order of operations. And if you go in the wrong order, you can also get the wrong answer, or an ugly wrong vault that won't make a bar. So let's kind of explain what the pole vault order of operations is. So just like the continuous chain method, if you guys really want to look that up, or you can look at the order of operations. And the order that things happen in the pole vault have to be in that order, or you're going to get a wrong pole vault or a wrong answer. So first you have to have the run, followed by the plant, then the takeoff, then the swing, then the inversion and the turn. I kind of add those together. Then the flyaway pike. And then I guess if you want number 8, it's the celebration. The every single girl vaulter. Now keep in mind, granted, I only posted 7 of the parts of the pole vault. Any coach can break it down into a million little steps and make this really complicated and talk about
takeoff angles and speeds and velocities and where their handhold should be, and go up 2 fingers, and you gotta take off here, and you gotta run from here, and you gotta have a midpoint.
all this stuff. But in reality, those are the 7 big chunks that need to happen. I've always liked coaches who can explain something really difficult, really simple. I think those are the best coaches. You almost start to think they don't know exactly what they're talking about because it's way too easy. Those are the best coaches. Einstein even said it. Keep that in mind. It's easier to coach something the kids already know. The kids already know about the order of operations. So if you just tie something that they already know and just put a little tweak on it, then you don't have to re-teach them anything, and then it's easier to learn. That's like coaching 101 right there. Another way to think about it is that each step is like a separate chain, and having a weak link in your chain is almost impossible to continue going forward. You can have a weak link in your chain and still make a jump. Those are those jumps where people, let's talk about the swing for example. If you only swing halfway and then they shoot for the bar, they never finish that link of the full swing, getting all the way back. So they had a weak link in their chain, which is going to take away from height if they don't get all the way back. But if they have a strong link and they swing all the way back, they're going to be able to get into a better inversion. And if that inversion link is strong, their vault is going to continue being strong and good, and they'll end up jumping higher. There's also times when your link your chain link is so weak that it breaks, and those are usually failed jumps. For example, if a kid doesn't swing one up, there's usually a weak link in that chain. Or it's something mental, which is a whole different scenario that we're talking about. Or let's say they swing up halfway and then they kind of shoot at the bar. Or they can't swing it all the way up. Weak link in that chain. So the trick is every link has to be completed before you go to that next chain. That's kind of the most important part. So for example, here's kind of a ridiculous example. The two biggest chains where I see the biggest issues are kids usually switch the plant and the takeoff. So they're usually try and take off, they jump in the air before their arms are all the way up. So if their arms are bent here, their chain's not completed. The arms have to be all the way locked before they take off the ground. That's a huge one. That's where 90% of the issues will be able to be corrected or fixed. The other one is kids usually think they're swinging, but they only swing to halfway and then they kind of peter out at the bar. If you peter out at the bar, you're not finishing the chain, and then your vault kind of gets screwed up. So those are the two big ones where you can fix a lot of issues. So like I said, you can still make jumps with weak chains, with weak links. You can have kind of a rough plant or a rough invert or a rough pike, and you can still make bars. You just probably won't make really high bars yet, unless one of your other chain links is phenomenal. Practice is all about making those weak links a little bit stronger, and the stronger you can make those links, the stronger. Think about it, like say you have a chain, instead of being able to pull like a pickle down the street, you'll be able to pull like a car down the street if your chains are strong. So kind of keep that in mind. So practice is all about fixing those weak links. So that's the pole vault order of operations. I've explained it probably every time I coach, because it's easy for a kid, and they go back and they know that this has to happen before that happens, and that's really easy to do then.
I need to put my hand here, my hand here, my fist here, my leg here, and this here, and this here.
They just know I need to be locked before I jump. That fixes a lot of issues. So let me know how it goes. If you guys go and do this and give it a try, leave some comments below or shoot me an email. I'm kind of curious to see how this works with you guys. I hope this helps some coaches and some athletes along the way. Squish had eye surgery. He gets to wear this really cool bucket on his head. Hopefully he'll be able to see in a couple weeks. He had super eye surgery. That's about it.
What's your favorite invertebrate?
I don't know what the heck that is.
I don't know what that is.
Nobody does.
What does that even mean? What's a vertebrate?
Invertebrate. It's an animal or species without a vertebrae, so without a spine. Need examples?
Would it be like a dolphin?
Dolphins have spines.
They do? What's